Welcome back to Persona 3, and it's Saturday, so you know what that means, it's Tartarus time. Now, this week's visit to Tartarus is nowhere near as important as last week's. For one, we already have enough money to last us through the next week, but getting more certainly won't hurt. We also don't need to fuse any specific personas for next week either. So this visit to Tartarus is more about just exploring a tiny bit more and mostly just leveling up. We want to be at least level 10 by the next plot event, which, hint hint, might happen in 7 days, hint hint. We also want to work on completing some of Elizabeth's requests, so that's just the things we want to do now. Speaking of Elizabeth's requests, first step is to take that Juzumaru off of Junpei, because you actually need this to be not equipped on everyone, it actually needs to be in your inventory. Junpei, I just took away your katana and replaced it with a worse one. I don't think you should be thanking me. Anyway, let's head to the Velvet Room to report this into Elizabeth. Don't worry about losing it though, you will not actually lose this item. You just need to show it to her. Anyway, like always, I prefer to not accept the quest until I've actually got the item. So, give me that Juzumaru, and we've already completed the request. It's the katana that Nichiren used. That is listed in the sword's description. The Katana of Evil's Bane? Does that mean that it's, the Japanese counterpart of the Master Sword? Elizabeth, how do you know that much about... Like, how can you measure a sword that accurately without a measuring device and just by looking at it? Elizabeth, you kind of scare me sometimes. For that we get 1 Cup of Night. You'll see what that is in a bit. And there are only 3 requests left, so I might as well accept all of them. We're not going to retrieve the first old document today. That requires you to get to the first barricade in Tartarus. Basically as far as you can explore before the first plot event. We want to accept this though because it is timed. And we want to accept the beetle shell request because 12,000 yen will be useful, and like I said, these enemies don't actually drop the beetle shells unless you've accepted the request, which is really annoying. As for Jack Brothers, we can't do that yet. And in fact, that's actually not very high on our priority list. I probably will be fusing at least one of the Jacks later, but probably not both at the same time because it's a little redundant. The actual fusion spell is not as useful as Cadenza anyway. For now, let's just give Junpei's sword back. Thankfully, we don't actually lose it. And it gives a 1 increase in accuracy. Now let's head on out. Last time we explored up to floor 10, which means we'll actually be beginning this visit to Tartarus with a boss fight. Now, this next boss is not really all that bad, but still don't underestimate it. It can be kind of tough if you're not careful. There are 3 of them, just like last time. We gotta stay alert. Yeah, definitely stay alert. On the note of preparations, here's this Cup of Night. It's a stat boosting item that increases a persona's luck by 1 and endurance by 2. We can use that on any of our personas, not our teammates' ones. So it's a bit of a waste to use it on Orpheus, but either Nekomata or Aramitama could benefit from this. Now, Nekomata's endurance is a little weak, so I'm going to use it on her. Also, she has no weaknesses, so she's the go-to persona we'll usually be using, but I say usually because Aramitama is quite useful for this one. Although Nekomata, I might have some use for Nekomata eventually in the fight. Depends on how bad things go. So, look. We have 3 hands. They look like bigger, fancier versions of the ones we saw earlier, the magic hands. This is the second boss of Tartarus, the Dancing Hands.
It must be guarding this area. It's strong, so be careful.
Like always, let's scan them.
Roger.
To make sure that our allies aren't derps, and speaking of which, we want to put Yukari on heal/support immediately. These things aren't weak to anything that she uses, so there's no point in having her attacking. Just have her focus on healing. Now, the Dancing Hands can use quite a wide variety of elemental skills, including Magaru, which hits everyone for wind damage, which Junpei is weak to. So yeah, once again, the boss is a middle finger to Junpei. Aramitama is also weak to wind though, so that can be a problem. Why am I using Aramitama? Well, these things happen to be weak to strike attacks, and Aramitama is the best persona I have that has Bash. While Orpheus also has Bash, Orpheus is a lot weaker and is weak to another one of their elements, and that's bad. Yeah, these things have a wide variety of elements they can use. Thankfully, they're not resistant to most... Wow, that's unlucky. Now, as you can see here, they have a wide variety of attacks that they can use, of most elements, and also they have Tenterafu, which is a very annoying attack. It inflicts panic status, which is basically like silence in traditional RPGs. It means you can't use your persona.
Hang in there.
Thankfully, Yukari's healing is going to really help out in this fight, provided that she doesn't get thundered. Or Tenterafu. Oh boy, that's bad.
Beware. Takuba still can't use her persona.
And that's really bad, because it means she can't heal us. Do I have anything that can cure this? No, I don't. Well, I think the best course of action is to go with full-out offense here. Aramitama does know a defensive buff skill,
You struck the enemy's weak point.
which can be useful here too.
Attack again.
Question here is, do I knock down the last one, or do I... And yeah, the persona calls are a good way to know how each persona is pronounced.
Here's a chance.
So, even though my allies are panicked, they can still participate in an all-out attack. I'm actually going to relent for now, because I want these things to waste their turns. For now, I want to wait while my allies recover from panic status, and for now I can probably go for Rakukaja on Garistu himself, because defense is what matters the most for him, because, well, you know, he needs to not get a game over. Defense up!
The enemy has recovered.
So these things will be recovering, but they won't actually be attacking
Just won't
us.
die.
Or, unless Junpei is an idiot and does that. Why'd you have to do that, Junpei? Okay, thanks for the medicine there. Well, at least you can still heal us with items.
Prepare to be attacked.
Yeah,
Stay
Junpei,
sharp.
why'd you have to get one of them to stand back up? That can be a problem with AI teammates sometimes. They don't seem to realize that attacking an enemy while it's down will make it automatically stand back up, and I was counting on them all losing their turns, and now we're getting stun locked.
Hang in there.
Oh boy, yeah, that's bad.
Now strike back.
I'm not going to be able to until next turn. Ow. Okay, Junpei can still use his persona again. Excellent. Come on, do a big hit on one of these things.
Damn.
Annoyingly, he doesn't have any
Finish
strike
it
attacks
off.
just yet. He will learn them. Magaru again, really? Now, thankfully, they're demonstrating a thing about enemies. Not enemies, but full targeting attacks in this game that I mentioned earlier. Unless you knock down everyone panicked, really? Unless you knock down all enemies in
Great
one
recovery.
go?
Not good.
Oh,
Takuba's
no.
Down.
Unless you knock down all enemies in one go, you don't get the one more.
Don't you have a mid-patron gem?
We don't, actually. Yukari is the one who has the, who has that healing. This is actually quite bad. Very, very, very bad, actually. Why is it that I did this battle first try, and then the recording screwed up? I don't want to use that V chain just yet. I think I'll actually put Junpei on heal.
Alright, fine.
And revive Yukari. That's what these revival beads are for. Please don't panic her. Really?
Here.
That's exactly why I put Junpei on heal, though. And once again, we're getting Magaru'd. You see, this might make Aramitama seem like a bad idea, but actually Orpheus is equally bad if they use Zio.
Now strike back.
So both of them have problems. Thankfully, you did not attack Yukari with that Zio.
Here.
Okay, might want to take Junpei off healing soon. Don't hit Yukari! Thank you for the dodge there.
Takuba is in danger.
Yes, she definitely is. Thankfully, she'll heal now. Okay, this battle has not been going well. Of course, figures that it'd go perfectly on the one attempt that doesn't count. It's how things go sometimes. Getting rid of at least one of these enemies makes the battle a lot easier. It means you don't need to worry about getting double Magaru'd. Okay, one down. As long as you can keep this chain of bash attacks up and you don't miss.
You exploited the enemy's weakness. Nice!
Question, do I go for this again or do I actually heal? Okay, I'm going to go for another bash because I will get a one more if I don't go for the all-out attack. And I could if I want to.
You exploited the enemy's weakness.
Here's a chance. Let's get him.
I think my HP's a little too low.
Why not?
Okay, Junpei could potentially get one of them to stand back up. For now, though, oh, Yukari doesn't move until 5. Okay. Actually going to switch over to Nekomata and heal. This is a battle that can either go really smoothly or really badly, as you can see. When it goes really smoothly, these things just die in almost no effort at all. When it goes badly, though, it really goes badly. Thank you, Junpei, for not attacking the one that's down.
Finish it off.
The enemy's already recovered.
Please hit! I couldn't defeat it.
Okay. I don't want to speak too soon, but we may have this. Let's go for the one with more HP first. Because we want to make sure that one goes down.
Get him.
Thank you, and now we finish the last one.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at him.
So that battle did not go as smoothly as my first attempt, but at least it didn't go as badly as my second attempt, which you will see probably right now. Basically, knock them all down, do the all-out attack, like always. Oh, it'll be different from the third boss, but that comes later. We've already taken out more than half their health. Okay, this is the most annoying thing about this boss, that Magaru attack.
Great recovery.
Okay, please don't use Magaru again.
Look out! Talk about
Wow,
some
Yukari's
danger.
seriously hurt now. Oh crap, we're dead.
A single strike.
We
Come on,
actually
stand
are.
up.
Yeah, that didn't end well. First one for the fail channel, I guess. Now we finally get to see this screen. Be prepared to see this screen a lot. Yeah, Magaru is really painful if these things keep spamming it, so yeah. But for that, we get some good experience and 3 Mazio gems, which cast a thunder attack on all enemies, which is quite nice. Anyway, the stairs are right there, but every time you defeat a boss, there's always a chest waiting for you. This one contains Chewing Soul, a better version of Snuff Soul, which restores SP. However, now that we've just defeated a boss, we want to head on back right now and save. This will fully heal us as well. Always make sure to go back and save after you defeat a boss, because you don't want to just get too cocky, keep exploring, and then just get wiped out and your progress won't carry over. That's always frustrating. And yeah, we're all fully healed, so no harm in that really. So, basically, yeah, that's that boss down. And I'll see you after I've saved for more exploration of Tartarus. With that boss down, and with us having saved, it's time to keep progressing in Tartarus. So, back to the 10th floor. We probably won't be getting much further, because there's a pretty considerable roadblock in the form of the third boss. The third boss is absolutely, yeah, the first two are absolutely nothing compared to the third boss. The third boss is probably even harder than the first actual plot boss as well. So, let's move on to floor 11. Or we could just, you know, not die. Yeah, it does give you experience faster, but it's better to stick together. I prefer to stay together unless the enemies on the floor are really, really weak. Anyway, let's go. Let's try and find some chests here. And see if we can find some new enemies as well. I think there's only one actual new enemy type at this point. Ah, Cupids again.
The enemy's weakness is ice. Use it often.
Okay, I fused away Tartarus, so I can't actually hit your weakness to ice. But I do have a very powerful physical persona, so my physical attacks do a bit more damage.
Defeated an enemy.
One more.
Argy, huh? Oh, hey, one shot. Good.
Who's the man?
Not very much experience, though. We want to be on the lookout for small shadows, because those are likely to be beetles. And we need their shells. Okay, new enemy.
2 enemies detected. Strike first.
The Trance
Roger.
Twins.
I'll attempt to analyze the enemy.
These things are actually quite a problem for Yukari, if I know... If I remember correctly, they use thunder attacks, so we should watch out. I think, actually... While I'm waiting for the scan, I'm going to buff Yukari's defense. Make sure to make good use of buffs and debuffs in this game, because they're really, really useful.
Defeat it.
That wind magic did a lot of damage, but,
Has defeated. It seems to have multiple weaknesses.
Oh, okay, they are weak to fire and ice, but strong against thunder, and they do use that, so... Weak to fire, huh? I've got just the kitty for you.
1 enemy remains.
Come on, Nekomata, let's burn these things.
What a stunning victory.
They're not that bad if you don't let the... Speaking of bad... Okay, thankfully they're not going fast. And actually, having Tartarus back is not bad, because that gives us access to Cadenza again, and access to Bufu again. Speaking of which, I think we might actually want a Pixie. Grinding a Pixie to level 4 is not a bad idea when it comes to fighting the next boss. Trust me, the next boss is kind of tough, and having panic attacks is useful. Now that thing is distressed, which means it's probably going to give out very minimal experience if we actually fight it, so let's ignore it for now. What do we got here? Oh, hey, hands.
Enemies detected.
They're also distressed. Yeah, you are weak
The
to fire.
enemy's weakness.
Nikomata!
Has been a week.
1 more.
Now let's just rush this thing.
Enemy down.
Not sure if I've explained the rush command earlier, but pressing
What a
triangle
stunning
causes your
victory.
party to go into rush mode. Basically, you just spam physical attacks until the enemy dies. Having an angel might not be bad either. Later on in the game, we'll have access to something that will let us re-summon past personas without having to worry about picking them up in shuffle time, but for now, grabbing a few of the ones we've fused away in shuffle time can be useful. Now, have we explored most of this floor already? I think we sort of have. You're distressed, don't need to worry about you. Yeah, fighting distressed enemies is just a good way to tire yourselves out to little to no purpose. Okay, stairs are there. Let's see if there are any more chests, though. Nothing there. Okay, you're not a beetle. And you're a dead end. And you're chasing me. Gotcha! Twins again.
2 enemies detected. One more.
Nice.
Nikomata!
These things are really not that bad at this point. But we'll need all the experience we can get if we want to take on the next boss. Aha! Pixie! Speaking of experience... I'd actually quite like to fight a lot of battles with that Pixie on my side, if possible. Weird as it seems, I'm actually going to go and equip Pixie just so that she gets the experience from battles. Will take a while to level her up to 4 though, but if you do, she learns a move that could be very useful against the upcoming boss. There might be a chest this way. Hi, Shadow. Oh, rare chest. Excellent. If I get another Juzumaru, though. Yeah, tiaras.
Detected.
I'll just switch over to Aramitama and just spam the rush command.
Take the enemy down.
Rush is normally a very bad idea against enemies that are actually a threat to you, but against weaker enemies, it's a pretty quick way to finish battles.
A complete victory. Great.
But yeah, I've heard that people who go to this game from Final Fantasy X get kind of screwed over by the rush command sometimes. Oh, hey, a bow for the protagonist, finally. I've heard that can be useful in hitting gold shadows, so I want to try that. And of course it's another Juzumaru. I don't really like using those with the protagonist because it's harder to get preemptive strikes with them.
2 enemies detected.
I'm going to switch over to Pixie for some reason. And
Take the
rush.
enemy down.
Yeah, that did almost nothing. Your stats are heavily dependent on your persona.
Who's the man?
But yeah, the Final Fantasy X thing is that in that game, pressing triangle puts your character on guard. Here, it does the exact opposite of that. So let's see if Pixie is indeed getting experience from this. Yeah, gradually getting experience. Grinding her to level 4 is going to be a pain though. Let's just head up to the next floor. I would really like to find one of those beetles. Oh yeah, it is definitely a great source of power, and she has a specific floor this time, so it's the 14th floor that we need to worry about. Well, this one's not a beetle either. This one is, oh,
3
trans
enemies
twins.
present. Don't get careless.
You can always start the battle with a lower level persona and then immediately switch over, and I think they'll still get experience. Yeah, the Pokemon strategy. Kind of funny, because back when I first played Pokemon, I actually discovered that strategy as a kid, just on my own.
One more!
You know what? I haven't actually shown Cleaver. Actually, Junpei's got this skill already. But, Nekomata suddenly produced either a sword or a really long pair of Wolverine claws. Unfortunately, it was to no avail because it
Tartarus has
missed.
defeated an enemy.
Oh, I forgot these things were also weak to wind. Gotta be careful Yukari doesn't blow all over SP early, though.
That was a close one.
No it wasn't. They were pretty easy. 6 experience is definitely better than normal, though. Okay, small shadow. Please be a beetle. Yes, that's definitely a beetle.
1 enemy detected. Strike first.
As much as I kind of want Pixie to get the experience from this, equipping a very weak persona against this thing is going to be bad, but I'll risk it for 1 turn. No, I'm not going to heal myself a slight amount. Please don't let that come back to bite me. Yeah, thankfully, Yukari can handle our Garu damage on this thing.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at him.
Now, I do have Angel if I want to inflict some Garu damage on this thing. If you run out of space for personas, you can thankfully dismiss some of them. It's better to fuse them in the Velvet Room, but if it's a complete emergency, dismissing them is not a bad idea. I'll just go to Aramitama and use physical attacks. Although, let me see. Okay, you're not resistant to physical attacks. I thought you were for a moment, you just have a lot of HP. Not resistant to this either. Goodbye, Beetle! Please give me that beetle shell. Yep, that's 1 beetle shell. We've already got that quest completed. Those get an item from this enemy quest are... Wow, we're getting lots of rare chests. Magic Mirror. These are interesting items. And in fact, they would have been great to have before that dancing hand fight, actually. Magic Mirror puts a barrier on your entire party that lasts, that basically has, it reflects one magic attack, and after getting hit by one magic attack, the barrier goes away. Be careful, though, because, we got preempted. Oh, it's just a twins. Our twins. Hi there, our twins. I will just use our pixie because I want to level this thing up.
I can do it.
So, there are certain spells that can penetrate mirrors. And if you're thinking, oh hey, the Reaper uses a whole bunch of magical attacks that are really powerful, I can bounce them right back at him.
I'm kinda tired.
This is not
Yukari is tired.
Takiba is fatigued.
No, you can't bounce them back at him, because if you try that, the Reaper will counter it with Negadola on, the strongest Almighty spell. Almighty spells cannot be resisted or blocked at all. The only way to be immune to Almighty damage is to be immune to damage, period. Almighty is the element that is,
Detected. Strike first.
the element of all-out attacks, basically. Technically I could use Apsaris, but really, you know what, I just realized these things have Garu, don't they?
The enemy. 2 enemies remain. Don't get careless.
At least Aram Mitama does a lot of damage physically.
Take the enemy down. A complete victory.
They're not giving very many wand cards at this point, which increase your experience. But yeah, Almighty attacks, you generally don't see them, but a lot of enemies are smart enough to use them if you try and use mirrors on them, so bear that in mind. For some reason I'm alone.
3 enemies present. Don't get careless.
That's not good. That's really not good.
It seems to have multiple
Okay, you're weak to
weaknesses.
ice and wind. And you are weak to fire and ice, I think you are. Let's go ahead and switch to Apsaris then.
3 enemies
Let's see if
remain.
Garisu can handle this fight on his own. We can still use Cadenza alone, we just can't use all-out attacks.
Attack again.
Not quite a one-shot though, because Cadenza's stats are not... Yeah, Corn's Persona Cadenza.
Excellent attack.
Apsaris, technically kind of she is Cadenza, because that's really her main use at this
Wow,
point.
another enemy defeated. 1 left.
Well, let's just finish you.
You have the potential to...
Let's see how much extra experience we get from that. Oh, wand. Oh, great. Yeah, I skipped that accidentally. I guess that's what happens when you do that. But 8 experience is, okay, I guess. Why'd you get so far away from me, Junpei and Yukari? Come back here. I still need to make sure that Pixie gets experience. She's still very far away from leveling up. Resisting Thunder is a good thing to have against the next boss, too. Okay, Tiara and Twins. Once again, Apsaris is good for this. Both of you are weak to ice.
Yes, excellent attack.
Get him!
A wisely chosen attack.
Here's a chance. Let's get him! Get back here, you son of
What a stunning victory.
The enemies here are really not all that tough, but that might be just because we grinded so much in the first session. I am not good at these fast ones. Actually got it that time, though. All this extra yen will make a difference, though. Good to have a buffer. Oh, looks like Pixie didn't actually... It must be only the persona that is equipped at the end of the fight that gets experience. Looks good.
2 enemies
I guess we can just rush these things. Haha, that barely did anything. Once again, same. anything. Almost nothing.
Last one.
Take the enemy down. What a stunning victory. What's wrong? Are you
And
feeling
we're
tired?
tired. Junpei hasn't got tired yet. Okay, wand, that's good. Still only 4 experience, though. Odd morsel, okay. If you find an odd morsel in a chest in Tartarus, you can get them randomly, and you can get them pretty much anywhere. It restores a party member's HP and has a side effect, but you don't want to use it for that. We actually will be needing an odd morsel to initiate a social link later, so remember it. You can find them, like I said, basically anywhere in Tartarus, just lying around in those chests.
Just one more. Take the enemy down.
Junpei's really putting in work here.
Who's the man? Man, I'm beat.
Iori is fatigued. Shouldn't you return?
I knew I was tempting fate there. Anyway, let's keep going. And if I head back to save now, I'm going to lose both Junpei and Yukari, so... Gotta make all this exploration count now. We're pretty much committed to going as far as we can, which is really only a couple of floors. Oh, hi there, three enemies
present. Don't get careless.
Thankfully, you two are both weak to wind. Oh, no. Wow, that did more than I thought it would. Probably because she's tired, actually. Ow.
Watch me in action.
Well, thankfully, Junpei can hit the weakness of this thing. Not the other things, though, but he can hit it while it's down and finish it. Ow.
Stay sharp.
Well, at least we got up in one turn.
C'est magnifique.
Oh, and dodge that.
Iori has defeated an enemy.
And that would give us not quite an all-out attack for some reason. Don't know why. Well, you're an idiot.
Help me.
I think that was a little unnecessary, but I'll take it.
That was a close one.
6 experience, every little bit helps. I think it's time to head on to the next floor, actually. We've got that beetle shell. So our only real goal is to train a little bit more.